This is now this is Josiah Plays Pillars of Eternity. So let's continue. I am in the Goose and Fox Inn in Defiance Bay, I believe. Looking around, talking to the peoples, seeing what there is to see, all that sort of business. As we wait for the loading screen, are you not entertained? Okay, we're in here. Some pretty typical tavern music.
Of course.
And of course I'm being super sneaky in the tavern because, you know, that's not weird or creepy at all. Alright, Lupites Silvarum, what you got for me? Oh, it's a vibrant history. Well, that's a surprising development. Didn't expect to find one of those. Alright, let's see what's cracking with his soul. Reaching out. You see an impressive gathering of wild orlans in ceremonial dress, shaded by a copse of ancient oaks. Underneath the largest oak stand two young orlans, hands clasped, eyes clear as they promise to care for and love one another in the joining of their clans. An elder orlan steps toward them to speak, beard seeming to sprout from directly underneath his eyes, and declares their union complete. The jubilant Orlan clans carry the newly wedded couple away to their tent with snorts of laughter and crude jokes, leaving the older Orlan to sit alone beneath the age-old oak. He sighs, observing the scene in the distance. He whispers a quiet benediction, glad for their gladness, and melts into the trees without another word. He has seen enough happiness for one day. Well, that's kind of depressing. The guy performing the ceremony doesn't seem too happy. Maybe he lost his mate. Well, you keep drinking there, Lupites. We have
keeping an eye out.
Adventures to go on. And by adventures, I mean we're going to talk to this bodyguard, noble, and commoner over here. Better quick save, though, because important things. Nothing loosens tongues like a cold pint, but good pint also. My employer here is a man of strong opinions, and also strong fashion taste. You hear this guy? Mad, I tell you! Gotta do a different voice for the... They used to get him into trouble, so he hired me. I've stopped listening. I'm just here because he keeps drawing drinks. Are you here for some words of wisdom, too? Levi, I heard he was eaten by Stellier near Glanfuth. I haven't said a word in 20 minutes. He just keeps going. The sanitarium gets a bad name in some quarters, but they'll solve the legacy, no mistake. Nothing loosens tongues like a good pint. You said that already, bruh. Levi struck it rich and lives like a king in the dead fire archipelago. It's a hard word when you've been drinking. I was just telling this lucky young lad all about the backstage maneuverings in Defiance Bay. Oh really? Tell us more. When Wodica takes back her throne, every man should be happy in his place, not like those dozens upstarts. It's always those who are born into the rich, entitled positions who get mad about the people who are clamoring for change. Of course. Are you here for some words of wisdom, too? Well, yeah. Do you got any? You hear this guy? Mad, I tell you. Alright, we've heard enough. Yeah, he thinks Animancy's great. Of course he does. We have a, odd-looking picture in the wall. Is that a drake? A dragon is outlined in charcoal pencil. The thick, jagged lines and the faint smell of sulfur Suggested the artist completed this sketch in a hurry. Cliff Dragon, White March, 2685. Completed it in a hurry, yeah. He didn't have a lot of time to observe the dragon before danger reared its ugly head. Here's a fire. Here's a mercenary who's had quite a few delicious drinks, apparently. It's a good place to unwind between jobs. Sometimes I even find new ones. Sure, it's respectable. That just means kids settle their arguments outside. It's a drunk voice, not very good. That's how my over there got a job. Checks the loudest mouth here. Wait, what? That's an Amawa woman, apparently. Okay. Rumors that the original owner was on a ship that sank near Avatar. The original owner of the tavern. There's so many rumors about this Levi guy. It's a good place to only have heard that from you before, sir. This is Kainra sitting in a chair. It's amazing. A woman sits by herself, spinning something on the table in front of her and watching it with furious intensity. It's about the size of a coin, and it wobbles over a crack in the wood with a metallic rattle. I'm just so happy it's not a ancient memory or whatever they call them. Vibrant history. So she's watching something with furious intensity. Sounds intense. It's a cool table. Let's see. She snatches it up with one hand and slams a half-empty cup down on the table with the other. This is not a good time. Just a second. Okay. This is not a good time. What's that thing? Wait, I totally forgot what I'm doing here. Sorry about that. Okay, what's that thing you're spinning? She glowers at her closed fist. Something I need to get rid of. What are you doing here? She takes a long drink from her glass. Just trying to calm down and trying to talk myself out of something foolish. Something foolish? She says nothing for a few moments, as if hoping you'll leave. At last, Kenya looks up at you, and lamplight falls across her face. A purpling bruise is blossoming along her cheekbone. There's something I need to give to my fiancé. Pernzish. Only, he doesn't seem to go anywhere without his new friends, and they're not exactly pleasant company. Ah, she was beaten, or at least hit by somebody. Who hit you? She shakes her head. I know how this looks, but you don't understand. It's not like Pernish. It's these new friends of his. They brought out the worst in him. Tell me about these new friends. They come into her house with their dead eyes and their black teeth. That doesn't sound good. I'm not a fool. I know what it means. Pernish makes me leave when they show up, but it's obvious what they come to do. Last time they came, I told them to get out. Let them have their fun somewhere in the gift, but not under my roof. She scowls and then winces, her fingertips gently probing her bruise. Ah, this kind of like some bad news. Sveth changes you, I guess. The Pernish I knew wouldn't have squashed a spider. I never thought he'd... She trails off, still feeling the swollen, discolored flesh. Ah, so he's fallen into the drugs. And now he's hit his beloved. And we have this kind of drama going on that only I can solve, apparently. So if I had Survival 2, I don't even have Survival 2. I'd probably know some stuff about Sveth and I could, make some clever comment here, but, I'm gonna ask this question. What's Sveth? I don't see the joke. She eyes you suspiciously. You really don't know? It's a shrub, I think, from out in the mountains somewhere. It has dark berries, and they treat them somehow. Make this pulpy paste. You rub it into your gums, and you're supposed to see, I don't know, amazing things? Your own soul? People who use it, that's all they do. They lay around seeing things for days. So it's a hallucinogen. Of course, in this world, with all this soul magic and other business, it might actually have, like, legit magical properties. I thought Sveth just made people lay around, not doing much. Kenra shrugs. I don't really know. It seemed better than believing he's always been this way. Maybe I could go talk to him. Her hand rests on the table, and she clenches it into a white-knuckled fist. There's nothing more to say to him. We're finished. I just want to give this back to him and have a clean break. She opens her hand, and a ring clatters onto the table. Ah, of course. Oh, cool. I got another dialogue thing, because I'm honest. I've heard you're trustworthy. That's cool. It was his grandmother's. Even after this, I don't have the heart to sell it off. But if I go back there myself, I know what'll happen. I lose my temper, and I'll probably wind up with another one of these. She points to her bruise. But I've heard you're trustworthy. If you give this back to him, he'll know we're done. She's heard I'm trustworthy. That's pretty cool. I just rolled into town. She's like, I've heard about you. You're the trustworthy one, aren't you? Also heard that you're clever. And benevolent. A little bit passionate. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll take this ring to Burnish, then. She looks at you and nods. The house is just north of here. Please, don't hurt him. As furious as I am, I don't want that on my conscience. I'll come back later after having jibbed him, and I'm like, so a thing happened. Mistakes were made. Let's just, there's pieces of him all over the floor. Quest, his old self. So this is a legit quest, not just a task. So it's going to be much bigger than just delivering a ring, obviously. Something unusual is happening at a house in Copper Lane. A man named Pernish is acting strangely. Give Kainra's ring to Pernish. Kainra asked me to return the betrothal ring Pernish gave her. She told me that Pernish's house, located next to the marketplace in Copper Lane. Now, can I go sell this ring? Because that would be amazing. I mean, I'm not going to, but it would be hilarious if I could. Doesn't look like I actually can, though. A gold band laced with Adra accents. Taking it to the shop. Excuse me, sorry about that. Okay. Yeah. So I got a quest. And that is why you talk to all the people. Because some of them give you quests. Funny thing is, I was about to say that before I came over here. I was about to say, you gotta talk to everybody in this game because the people do not have any kind of indicator visually that they have a quest. So if you don't talk to everybody, you won't find the quest. And I was like, I'll probably find a quest from somebody in this inn. But then I decided not to say it because I thought if I didn't find a quest from somebody in this inn, that I would sound stupid. But then I walked over here and the first person I talked to had a quest. So there you have it.
Quickly and quietly.
Kainra looks up as you approach. What happened with Pernish? Did you give him the ring? Not yet. I'll be back. I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't actually moved from this spot. I'm still standing right here, so it was kind of a stupid question. No. Alright, that was unfair. It's unfair. Fast mode, please. What's in here? A dwarf and an Orlan debate philosophy on the other side of the curtain. Oh, really? I'd like to hear some of that. Oh, these are cool. These are little booths that people can sit in with curtains for privacy. That's awesome. There's an actor and a merchant here. What's up, actor? You come to talk some sense into this fellow, I hope? Merchant? Hate to say it, but the legacy's been good for business. This is a country of frontiersmen and farmers. We're not like the republics. It's driving people out of these stagnant backwaters and into the cities. The Deerwood strength has always come from rugged, independent types. What the Deerwood really needs is strong urban growth. Cram us into the cities and we'll be at each other's throats. I was told Errol left the inn after falling in love with a woman from Salona. So many different stories about this Errol of Levi guy. You've come to talk some sense. No, I haven't. And what's this? The painting depicts Glanfathan ruins, and the canvas bears the rough brushstrokes of a talented amateur. Ibril's Well, 2665. So I wonder if all of these all this art on the walls is from the same person. These covered booths with the Brad Furis is here. I have a feeling about this guy. You know what that feeling is? That feeling is vibrant history. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. Vibrant history. Oh, who called it? This guy. Okay, I'm reaching out for the soul. Alright, really, Brad Furus? This had better be interesting, Brad Furus. I'm gonna keep saying your full name, as though you can hear me, Brad Furus. You see a mud-soaked clearing. Rain falling to the ground in large drops. This man is lying on his back in the muck, his hands holding open the maw of an enormous Stelgar that stands over him, its front paws on his chest. The heavy rain falls over them, playing counterpoint to the grunts made by the opponents. Dead Stelgar litter the ground around them, and the man's body shows signs of a difficult battle. His clothing is torn, hanging in scraps in some places. Bites and scratches cover his arms and legs. A huge gash cuts across his forehead, blood and water mixing as they run down his face and drip into the mud. It takes all the man's effort to keep the beast's jaws from clamping down. The man looks around wildly until his gaze finally lands on a large axe lying barely within arm's reach behind his head, the rain slowly covering it with grime and muddy water. He looks at the Stelgar and then back at his axe, grim determination on his face. His arms are shaking, and it seems he will not be able to hold the beast back for much longer. He takes a deep breath and wraps his right hand around the Stelgar's bottom jaw, then lets go with his left hand, freeing the top of its head. The Stelgar's mouth snaps shut on his right hand as his left shoots out above his head and grabs the handle of his axe. The Stelgar grinds its teeth and pulls back, trying to free itself from his grip, blood dripping from its mouth onto his face. With a grunt that quickly becomes a bellow of pain, the man pulls his right hand down, bringing the beast's head closer to him, swinging the axe around as he does. The blade of the weapon pierces the Stelgar's neck and it yelps, its mouth popping open as it tries to step backward off of the man. Before his mangled hand can lose its grip, the man pulls and twists as hard as he can, trying to get the beast on the ground, using the Stelgar's resistance to pull himself into a sitting position. He brings the axe down on the neck again, and one final time as its head and his hand simultaneously come free. Wow. The head flies from his grip as he thrusts his hand behind his back to brace himself as he falls. As his hand hits the ground and his full weight lands on it, a second bellow of pain erupts from his mouth. Breathing heavily, he brings his now mangled hand up to assess the damage. Oh, I thought he had cut his hand off. A little finger is gone, lost somewhere in the mud. The two fingers next to it are twisted, broken, and torn, barely attached to his hand by small bits of flesh. He sighs, grabbing both dangling fingers with his left hand. He grits his teeth and pulls. Well, that's very unfortunate. Sounds like he, that was hands down one of the most gripping, biting tales of battle that I've read yet. You really got to give this guy a hand. I'm gonna stop now. I'm gonna stop right now before I ever speak again. Hold on a second. Okay. So, another vibrant memory, red.
Light, flame, and
Thanks,
sound.
Brad Furus.
We'll keep to ourselves.
Good luck with that whole one-hand thing. What's going on in here? Can anybody detect me? No, they can't. I'm stealing your shit. Oh yeah, poultry. Fowl, freshly plucked and ready for the pot. All your poultry belongs to me. Ooh, a locked chest. Bartender's ring. I like this. I like the sound of this. What does it do? Bartender's Ring. Plus 20 defense when stunned, plus 20 defense when prone. That's great. This simple wooden ring is orange and gray, and it glows when you're not wearing it. The ring's actual history is more speculation than fact. While all sources agree that it was owned by Errol of Levi, and that he acquired it after a period of exile, stories differ on the particulars of how he got it. Some say it was a gift from one of the gods, and others say it was the boon of a pact he made with a wicked power. Well, what I say is that I'm going to wear this ring. I suppose it'll go on Palagina, since he's already got 2 rings. There you go. There you go. I like when I find stuff. Interesting design to this place.
Gods keep you.
Would you like to buy some poultry, sir? I did not just steal it from your kitchen. Maiden Falls, 2682. Alright.
Light, flame, and sound.
Let's go upstairs. See what there is to find up here. And by find, I mean steal. By find, I mean steal. Dead Shot Daden and Hurdy and Two-Tone Weaksel. I'd like to imagine one or more of these are some sort of relevant NPCs, but I'm really suspecting they're all going to be vibrant histories. Key. Oh, we have a bookshelf. Scattered amongst such titles as Flora of the Living Lands, Unity and Disunity, A History of the Deadfire Archipelago, and Treatises on the Culcan People, are half a dozen travel journals held together with twine. So this Errol of Levi is quite the world traveler, quite the adventurer. Juan Jose is back. How you doing? Good to see you. Do not deny thy feelings for me, Royal King. I don't know what that means, but hi. We got Two-Tone Weaksel here, and I'm gonna bet we've got a vibrant history coming up for us. Let's check it out.
Good day to you.
It's not a... Oh, I was wrong. I've never been so happy to be wrong. He's a real NPC. Okay, cool. An Orland man relaxes with his feet propped on the table. Patches of dark brown skin peek out from under a full mane of blue-green hair. He and the Orland woman with him exchange laughs and comments with the trio at a nearby table, and he spins a dagger in his hand. Oh, this is an adventuring group. His hazel eyes watch you. You look like you've seen a night or two in the wilds. Joining us for a drink? Who are all of you? The name's Two-Tone Weaksel. The lady next to me is Key. We've had our fun with the expeditions, but we were hoping to enjoy a little peace and quiet. For the next few weeks, anyway. A man at the next table nods at you. Dreadshot Daden. I'm Dreadshot Daden. This is Hurdy and Ilfa. We were part of separate expedition teams, but we both suffered losses and decided to band together. He ticks several items off his fingers. Beasts, barbarians, beerwicks. It's a dangerous time to be an adventurer, but a prosperous one too. At the next table, Daden raises his glass. And here's to many more prosperous journeys. Is there something else you wanted? I guess not. I guess I'll just leave then.
Howdy do.
Back again, I see. I'll leave. How about you, Key? You might be the key to this whole thing. The Orland woman nods at you, a cup of wine in hand and a scepter across her lap. So we got ourselves a spellcaster. Been out to Cadnewa yet? I own Cadnua. The one woman... yes, I have been out to Cadnua. It's mine. Anything... it looks like my library was completed. Am I building... Oh, I'm building a curio shop. That's right. And this here is Ilfa. She's got mail and a shield. I have a feeling I might have to fight these people at some point, because that's usually how it is with other adventuring groups. Ilfa nods at you, a pint in one hand and a mace slung over her shoulder. We just got back from the Black Meadow. Oh, the Black Meadow, eh? Wow. Quite the quite the exotic lands you've traveled to. The drinks are better over at the Salty Mast, but Hurdy here doesn't care for crowds. Okay. What about you, Dreadshot Dayton? Dayton is busy filing a spur off a small round bullet. He's very serious. I'm itching for some target practice. Is that right? The man twirls a pistol on his finger. Okay, and here's Hurdy, the barbarian, apparently. Burly Amawa raises a hand in greeting.
Best to visit ends log compass by land. Too many ships been wrecked by the reefs, eh?
Wow, he has a surprisingly high voice for a big burly Amawa guy.
Dayton here claims he can hit a pen from a rolling deck.
Wow, that's a lot. I'm not going to make fun of your voice there, sir, because I don't want to get in a big fight, but... That's...
If secrets whisper here,
unexpected.
I shall listen for them.
Unexpected. Come on, secret shit. Secret shit. No? Alright, fine. We'll be that. Oh, I wonder if I can pick this lock. I can. What's in here? Fruit and more lockpicks. So be it. So be it. Oh, there's people in this room. Herod Raoul and Ishana Glynn. Ah, okay. These are gonna be vibrant histories, aren't they? Here's the deal. I'm gonna need to steal from this chest, so hope you guys don't mind, because it needs to happen. A hunting bow and copper pans. That's not much. Old Vailia, Southern Coast, 2670 AI. Oh, really? Old Vailia. It's a picture of my homeland. Isn't that nice? Okay, Herod Raoul. Strapping looking gentleman. Vibrant history. Wow. Who knew? Who could have seen this coming? Well, let's reach out for the soul. You see a man standing on a dock. Sailors, soldiers, and prostitutes swarm around him, but he's watching the ship disappearing over the horizon. He should be glad his man didn't take his life along with his ship, but failure is almost as bad as a death for a Valian, and the gods only know he hadn't fared any better in his family's mercantile business. It's almost a relief to see that last herald of his failure sail into the distance, sparing him the need to go back to his father and admit defeat once again. Besides, with sharp wits and an eye for opportunity, there's always a chance for a comeback. He pulls a flask from his hip and takes a long drink. There will be time for that later. He adjusts the flap of his eye patch and finds the tower of the brothel. He plots a new course for the evening, a grin on his face. So, sounds like he failed, he lost his ship, and now he's gonna proceed to fail a whole bunch more, because he sucks. Okay, Herod Raoul, good luck with that, buddy. And this here is Ishana Glynn, and she's enjoying the local brews a little bit, it looks like. Vibrant history. Wow, I should probably see what this is all about. This is a new and innovative idea. Let's reach out for the soul. You see a group of people standing on a clear patch of earth, surrounded by several motionless bodies. On the ground, in the middle of the group, is a small figure, curled up to protect itself from the kicking feet of the people standing around it. This woman is there, apart from the group, holding an enormous sword. She leans on it, using it almost like a crutch, hunched over and breathing heavily. She stares at the people and grunts, pulling herself upright and lifting the sword from the ground. She draws in a large breath, leans into a run, and quickly closes the distance between herself and the group. A blood-chilling howl suddenly explodes from her. The mob freezes mid-kick and stares at the terrifying bull of a woman now charging it. She jumps at the last second, bending slightly, turning herself into a projectile, flying into the middle of the people assaulting the figure on the ground. Everyone topples as she flies into them. She hits the ground beyond them, rolling, leaping back up, and turns to face them. She plants both of her feet and lifts her sword, surveying the field. Suddenly, she spins on her heel, swinging her sword with savage grace, cutting down the nearest of the assailants. Letting herself get pulled into the momentum of the spin, she brings her sword around, blade sideways, into the head of a would-be opponent. The bottom of the hilt shatters his temple, and he crumples to the ground at her feet. She looks up, rage-filled eyes, daring the remaining two men to approach. After a quick sideways glance at each other, they turn heel and run. One briefly looks back over his shoulder, ensuring she isn't following him. She slowly lets out the breath she had been holding, and walks over to help the figure still huddled on the ground. So she went kind of berserk there. It's really not a good idea to engage in mortal combat while holding your breath, though. Your muscles need that oxygen. Just saying.
Keeping an eye out.
Yeah, okay, and we already stole your stuff, so we'll be moving on now. There's another picture of that dragon. What's in here, besides not hidden stuff? Pages of these old books are crisp and fragrant with the salt of a sea breeze. Isn't that nice? Ooh, we got a book! We have a book here. It is the most unfortunate tale. Wait. How come I never read this? Oh, because it's part 2. The most unfortunate tale of Favia and Bernat, a Valian tragedy. Scene. Laia watches Bernat approach Favia's tree, looking for her human form. Laia, behold, now comes the fun, that for which I have waited. His love is forfeit, her life is forfeit, and all I have worked toward shall be fulfilled. He says he knows his love. He says no force in the world could keep him from her. But what chance has force against guile? Never will he find his love, for she is no longer his love. The spell cannot be undone except by her death, and by then it will be too late. But wait, he has seen her. Maya steps back to observe. Favia. Pray, mortal, why have you come here? These woods are not for your kind. The affairs of men have no place at this tree. Leave. Leave ere your welcome lapses. Bernat. Foul creature! Where is my love? What have you done with her? Always this has been the station for our encounters. Never before have I seen you. Where is my love? Answer! Answer ere my patience lapses. Favia. Fool! This is my land, and this is my tree. Your presence never before has been felt. Again I say to you, leave. My generosity will not be extended a third time. Laia steps forward again. Laia. Talk? Discussion? I know the way to hurry the conclusion of this tale. Laia takes a breath and extends her throat, as if she's yelling, A scream comes from the copse of trees where the Puigua stands. Bernat. My love! Bernat steps forward, brandishing his sword. Bernat, prepare yourself, wretch, for not even death can stand between me and my love. I will have her from you, or you will meet your end. Bernat moves toward Favia, who closes to fight. They fight. During the fight, Bernat is grievously injured as he delivers the killing blow to Favia. She falls to the ground, and as she dies, the spell on her breaks, transforming her back into her Delemgan form. Favia. Bernat! Bernat! Bernat, my love, what have you done to me? What was it I said? What was it I did? Has our love soured in your heart? Bernat. Favia! My love, my life! What foul sorcery has befallen you? How have you come to be laid low by my hand? Fie! Fie to the gods for such treachery! Fie to all who stood in our way! Favia. Fear not, my beloved, for now we are together, and together we will always be. We will always will be. What? Nothing can keep us apart. But lo, why is it suddenly so dark? Where has the sun gone? Where are you? I cannot see you. I will find you. I will. Favia dies. Bernat. A curse upon the fiend who has betrayed me. To hold love in your hand and have it wrenched away. Bernat winces and puts his hand in his shirt. It comes out covered in blood. Bernat. What luck! What chance! Tragedy may yet turn to fortune. Favia, my love. Soon I will rest in your arms. We will lie together again as one, and forever shall we be side by side. I go now to meet my love. Bereth, I accept your cold embrace. I welcome your company. I beg your mercy. Bernat lies down next to Favia's body. Bernat. I am ready. Bernat dies. Laia steps out from her hiding spot and runs to Bernat's body. Laia. Bernat, you fool, you wretch! How can you leave me? I am alone. I am forgotten. I am cast out. Without your love, how can I continue? Life holds no thrall without your visage upon which I may gaze. But what shall I do? But here, my salvation, my answer. Laia picks up Bernat's sword. His blade, his weapon, I shall be impaled upon him, and he shall cut through me. I will not be denied my love. I will not be denied my love. You will be mine, if not in this life, then in the next. Laia impales herself on the sword. Laia, I come for you, my love, my Bernat. Wait for me, and I will find you. We shall love forever. Laia dies. Well, that was, sort of like, what if Shakespeare was bad? What if Shakespeare was not good at all? What would it be like? And this is the answer. I'm afraid the playwrights of my homeland are not that great. So, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy that I read that. Okay.
Keeping an eye out.
Oh no. It's a lot of people in here with very questionable names. You know what that means. Ooh. It means I got stuff to steal out of here and they're looking at me all crazy. Come here.
Got it.
Everybody get out of here.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't think this is gonna happen. Let's find out though. Oh yeah. I got all this stuff. So much stuff. So much stuff. Money and some junky scale armor. So much stuff. Alright. Bhur Akaria. Vibrant history. Imagine that. Let's reach out for the soul. You see a firm hand scribing notes from an ancient, surprisingly sturdy-looking tome. Script precise, pictures small but clear. The monk runs his fingers across the paper lightly, page after page, searching for something. The script is ancient, almost illegible, but he perseveres, scrawling stacks and sheaves of notes, transcribing the book into something more comprehensible. Suddenly, he starts scribbling hastily, eyes wild, pen a blur across the newly ink-spattered page. With a start, he pushes out from the desk and closes the tome, sending waves of dust to coast about the room, and grins widely. He hurries to the exit, notes piled under his arm, and a new adventure on his mind. I guess he found what he was looking for in the book. Okay. Red monk of words and books. Lexicanium Macreeg. Vibrant history. Reach out for the soul. You see a man praying soundlessly on the ground, lips moving to some ancient and unknowable hymn. Lying in his hands, his sword sputters into blinding white light, banishing the darkness around him instantly to lurk in corners and shelves. He opens his eyes slowly, continuing his silent prayer as he adjusts to the new light, his face tight with concentration. He stands and begins to move deliberately towards an enormous iron door, strange symbols inscribed upon its rusted surface. His prayer gets louder, gains substance as he gets closer. Blue eyes burn with fervor as the glowing tip of the sword touches the center of the door and slides through. White light spreads across its surface, symbols flaring into life as the paladin chants. He has apparently the open door with sword skill. A gentle tone sounds, ringing through the ancient structure, and the door begins to open. The symbols have disappeared along with the rust, and the paladin steps through into places unknown, bearing a light he is only now beginning to understand. I didn't even know my glowing sword opened doors, he says. When they told me this sword is going to open a lot of doors for you, I didn't think they meant that literally. Okay, Dash Oki, let's do this. Is that a moon god-like? It is. Vibrant history, reach out for soul, go. This one's got dialogue. You see a grin slide across the face of a man and on to the face of a woman, younger still than he. She moves closer in the tallow light, sure and slow, tasting the anticipation on his tongue, the desire on hers. The candle gutters, sending yellow-brown light sneaking across his multifaceted eyes. She sits back, now all too aware of his luminescent horns and dust-stamped blue skin. His otherness leaves her breathless, but from fascination or horror you cannot tell. He reaches across a hand, trailing the line of her jaw, sibilant whispers snaking through the air, tempting, cajoling. Something in her breaks, and his grin slides back as he extends his tongue to lick the curve of her throat, pausing a hair's breadth from her flesh. The thing we spoke of, your husband. I shouldn't. He'd be ruined. A faint protest. The man wags his forefinger at her, tisking playfully, tracing a line with the finger down the length of her torso, causing her to writhe. He stops it just short. She gasps. No fair. That's cheating, she pouts, childlike. Not if we make the rules. The man winks, and he resumes his stroke. So, apparently 50 Shades of Godlike we have going on here. A little
Margaret's
Pillars of Eternity softcore erotica going on. Alright. Well, that's all there is to find up in here, I guess. Something tells me I'm gonna have to come back here and like pick a fight with these guys at some point. I just feel that. I just feel it. Just feels like an Infinity Engine-y, totally word, thing to have happen. Okay. I picked many locks. How's my XP coming along? It feels like it's been forevs since I leveled up. Well, we're not really close to the next level, is the answer. Okay. So, here we go. We're finally done exploring the goose and fox. A lot of vibrant souls in there, as I suspected there might be. So many vibrant souls, though. Okay. And it's nighttime. It's hour 21. So it's not going to be daytime anytime soon, unless I go inside and rest. Which I'm tempted to do. Just so that I can... Well, maybe interesting things happen at night in the town. I don't know. I kind of want it to be daytime, though, to be honest. To be completely honest, I kind of want to go through this loading screen a couple more times. So, there you have it. Bishop.
Gods keep you.
Nope. Let's just do a room, buddy. So, you know, I could get a better bonus than the bonus I have. But do I really need to right now? Probably not. Let's save the money. That's nice. A wealthy noble by the name of Lord Sidrock has arrived at the stronghold. Really? And what does that mean for me? He's a prestigious visitor. I get +3 prestige just because he's there hanging out. And he'll be there for 8 days. 9 days, basically. That's awesome. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to pay anything. That's great. Thanks, Lord Sidrock. Not sure what prestige even does, but hey. Allegedly, it was supposed to help you, like, make money or something, right? Like, get some kind of taxes, and you'd actually make money off of your thing, but I think that's, like, bugged out right now and not working, from what I heard. I don't actually know. I certainly haven't seen anything in here about receiving any money. I just pay out my hirelings. So... what am I doing on my curio shop? 23 more hours. Okay, so I still have my buff, even though I rested for 8 hours, and now it's hour 3. So it's still kind of gonna be dark outside, because hour 3 is like early in the morning. I don't know how long it takes for it to not be hour 3 anymore. Like, let's just see how long it takes for an hour to... oh, now it's already hour 4, so I guess... maybe if I run around like this, it makes time pass faster. Because that makes so much sense. If you run around, it makes time pass faster, you know, because time flies when you're busy. Let's just see what happens. I don't know why I'm running around like this. Hour 4, come on. You can do this, hour 5. You can do this. I believe in you. I believe in you, hour 5. Characters. Everybody in the bar has just gotta be like, what the fuck are these people doing? Takes quite a while for it to become hour 5, doesn't it? Hour 4. Felt like it would last forever. For reals, though. This is gripping gameplay right here. Yup. You don't get to see this on any other stream. You only get to see this here on Josiah Plays. Other streams, they're busy screwing around doing dumb shit like completing quests. Me? running back and forth in the tavern. Okay, that's how long it takes for it to be an hour, apparently. I don't know how long that was in real time, but felt like a long time. Might have been a minute. Might have been longer. Okay. So, it's still dark, but not for long. We have Viserys here. I have an idea, Viserys. Why don't you not be a vibrant memory guy? That'd be awesome. And... oh, I can't even talk to him, can I? Oh, yeah, I can. Oh, it's a vibrant history. Of course it is. That's great. Let's reach out for the soul. You see a man crosses his arms. You see a man crosses his arms. You're already... and sticks his chin out. Moonlight and torchlight color his face. Bullshit. The man standing in front of him wears a panicked expression. Are you mad? I've seen it! Aha! The first man cries, raising a triumphant finger. You just said you'd only heard it. I don't know what a triumphant finger is like. I'm holding my finger up, looking at it, seeing if it looks triumphant at all, and it really doesn't. I've never been like, I just triumphed at something. Finger up? Like, what does that mean? The elf blinks.
What in the game of Galloway's Beast does that have to do with anything?
You said you'd only heard it. Now you're telling me it's a monster the size of Tuamaur with blood-dyed fur. The man takes a step closer to the elf. And now I'm saying you're a liar, Doran. Doran sputters.
Gods, Viserys, who cares what it looks like? It's a rabid wolf. You saw what it did to the sheep.
The elf throws up both of his hands, shaking his head.
You want to stay out here all night to see the thing yourself? Have it your way. I'm getting out of here.
Fine.
All right.
Good. The elf storms off, casting one last glance over his shoulder as he disappears down a hill. The man sets off in the other direction, a sword in one hand and a torch in the other. Within minutes, he comes to a broken paddock where a dozen sheep lie dead, their throats torn and their innards scattered across the ground. It is not the work of a normal predator. Something crunches through the dry grass. Viserys spins but sees nothing. He raises his torch higher. This time, a rustling sounds from behind him, near the paddock. He turns again to see a wolf. It's not nearly as large as Doran had sworn, and while its fur is matted with red around its throat and paws, the rest of the elf's description has proven to be a rather lurid exaggeration. Typical. Viserys takes some small satisfaction in this, even while the wolf lunges for him, its jaws foaming and eyes rolling. So, this guy kills wolves, apparently, with his weird stag helm and his stick. Okay, well, good for you, Viserys. Good for you. Still hour 5, apparently.
Time to see and not be seen.
What is this? It's a little bridge. Crumbled loaves and shredded flyers float on the water. Huh. There's people throwing bread and paper into the canal here. This whole thing is a canal surrounding the little theater, huh? That's kind of cool. That looks neat, actually. Your time has come, Sigram. Your life is at its end. Oh, Lafton, she calls to me, the pallid night.
And you have such poor luck with women as it is.
I cannot die yet, my children. What of my children?
But you had no children.
Of course I do, you fool. A wealth of them. Great armfuls of golden, golden-haired tots, all of whom I love dearly. Ha! Did he mess up his line? So we have ourselves a little open air theater. People are practicing apparently, or maybe they're performing, I don't know. The audience members are here. I heard there are less tame performances somewhere in Andra's Gift. Is that right? That Orlin is so funny. Do you like theater? Yeah, it's my favorite. I love it. It's great. It's awesome. I come here as often as I can. And how often is that exactly? The Stelgar slain, Onrud's Makka, great hero of our tale. Though the road is long and the fighting fierce, my courage will not fail. Her soul shines bright, her heart is true, but ahead lie greater dangers. The 100 poison arrows of the Crimson Serpent's rangers. That Orlin is so funny. Do you like theater? These guys all say the same things, don't they? Yes, they do. And who are you, Lumdala?
Look at this.
I see hidden shit, finally. I feel justified in sneaking around everywhere. Oh, yeah. Ooh, open scarab figurine. That sounds amazing. I bet a lot of people have not found this. So I got some Blackson here. Common sight in the Deerwood, Blackson is fashioned from Sonreed liquor and the boiled sap from Glanfathan trees. It's known to lend a sense of heightened alertness to the user, though it leaves one feeling worn and lethargic once it wears off. So it's focus on hit bonus, which is good for Cipher, and plus to perception, but minus to might and fatigue after 5 minutes is up. Okay. This wooden beetle has had lifelike detail carefully burned into the carved shell. Tiny barbs are etched onto its legs, and its folded wings bear mazy patterns. This is like my Onomot summoning thing, except it summons 3 wood beetles. That's amazing! That is so good. Okay, well somebody's got to have that in their quick slots, for sure, for sure. Now when it says requires 0 summoned creatures, right? Like this one does that mean that one character must have not summoned any creatures, or my whole group combined must have not summoned any creatures? Because, you know, I don't know. Well, she can have that too. Oaken Scarab figurine. 3 wood beetles. That seems pretty useful, actually. Glad I just found that hidden under a cobblestone. We have Kadal here. Who's Kadal? What's up, Kadal? Sorry, I can't talk right now. Really? How about now? No? Okay.
Of course.
Alright, so here's Lumdala, who's wearing some sort of fancy party dress, apparently. The statuesque woman has a gaze that could cut stone. That's quite a gaze. Trying to imagine what that looks like. Alright, I'm imagining it. I'm scared. It's pretty scary. Stone cutting gaze. She turns her chiseled cheekbones. Maybe she chiseled her cheekbones by looking in a mirror, and she just her own gaze reflected, like, I don't. Okay. To the sky and favors you with a look of acknowledgement. Her eyes shimmer under silvered eyeshadow and a razor-precise line of kohl. Before you can speak, she throws her hand up in dramatic fashion. So I'm guessing that this is an actress, like a kind of a star actress. She's got that sort of thing going on here.
How do you do?
Autographs after the performance, please. Great art requires great concentration, and greatness is expected from the revel of the stars.
What is the revel of the stars?
We are the finest theatre troupe in the city. We believe that the best art is immersive and true to life.
She looked at the amphitheater with a rapturous expression.
We stage our performances right here in Copper Lane for the edification of all. I suppose I can spare a moment for a fan.
Well, that is so generous of you, Lumdala. What do you do?
That depends entirely on the demands of the role.
She lays a slender hand on her chest.
I am the Pallid Knight, the Widow of the Wood, and the Warrior Queen Mokga, all at different times. To live a different life each day is a glorious thing indeed, my friend.
Grieving mother. The grieving mother retreats from the actress.
Her mind deceives, her voice enchants. She seeks to become what you desire, to blind you to the truth. Do not trust her, Watcher.
Grieving mother sees right through this crazy actress, who is perhaps more than she seems. I don't know why Oaken Scarab figurine wants its tooltip to be hanging around like, hey, don't forget about me. I'm an Oaken Scarab figurine. I'm gonna be up in this shit. I want as much screen time as possible. Alright. Does the Revel of Stars take in many new members?
But of course, good drama is a balm to the soul, and we wish to offer a true theatrical experience to as many as possible.
What kind of members do you take?
We'll take in the new and old, the tall and small, the experienced and inexperienced, whoever is best suited to fulfill a role to the utmost.
Sounds like they have high standards.
How long do you keep members? As long as they are able to satisfy the demands of their roles.
She smooths a wayward strand of hair.
True acting can be a grueling process, so some last longer than others.
I'd like to ask something else.
Very well. If you happen to know any aspiring thespians, please send them my way.
Her lips stretch into a hungry smile.
We always have a place for novices.
There's something else here going. There's more going on here than it appears. I don't know that I trust this lady. I mean, I definitely don't, especially since Grieving Mother was like, don't trust her, she's bad. This is not just a theater company. This is... something's happening here. We will get to the bottom of it eventually. Right now, we're going to stay kind of up toward the top of it. Farewell.
Hello.
I really should spend this time getting into character.
A what?
A what?
Lafton will be juggling for amusement. Go on, Lafton.
But I can't juggle.
Joining the show. What? Don't you know how? I'm up in the show.
Yes, but I haven't the balls for it.
See what he did there. I see what he did there. Okay. Actor. And so, yes. Audience member groan. Oh, I get it.
Why look, a weary traveler drawn by your flute.
It works. The charm works. Hylia smiles on me. I don't know what I'm watching right now, but
Not on my ears.
thanks for the assist. But you can get off the stage now. And so our audience wishes a closer look. It seems. Back up into the stands with you. We're acting here, friend. Well, one of us is. They actually react to you being all up in your shit. That's funny. Understudies. And though it may splinter my soul, I will not. Understudies are not very good. Damn, what's the line? You're holding the script in your hand, sir. What's the problem here? Just warming up. On 1, 2. I splinter my soul, I will. There was a fair maid from Anshenze, a wanderer from southern lands. Though she set all the lads to a frenzy. 'Twas my heart she held in her hands. Well, I thought that was going to end up a little more. Wait. Alright, so the actors are doing their thing. I can't, like, go up in the stands, but I can come over here. The benches are strewn with chicken bones, broken bottles, and greasy scraps of paper. Oh, they need to clean this place up. So we've checked out the theater. I have a feeling there will be more that goes on here. More I have to do with this theater troupe later as I find the appropriate quest. Crumbled loaves and shredded flyers float on the waters. Okay, so people just throw their bread and their papers right into the water here. The actors have a lot of different lines they go through. They're performing many different plays, apparently. Many different parts. Okay. So now it's hour 11. Wow, time flies when you're at the theater, apparently. Justicar, sup? We've heard that before. We've heard that before. We've heard that before. We've heard that before. Broken Branch is this person's name. Real NPC or Vibrant History? Taking bets. I'm thinking real NPC. Let's see. And I was wrong. Of course. Vibrant History. Alright, let's reach out for the soul. You see a dark figure moving quickly around a room, grabbing items and placing them in a sack. The room is in complete disarray. This elf is lying on the floor in the middle of the room. Her breath comes in shallow, hitching gasps, and her face is wet with tears. Her head slowly tilts to the side, her attention drawn to the noise on the far side of the room. She watches the figure move about, removing all the valuables from a chest. She slowly lifts her hands from her stomach, bringing them in front of her face. Her head shakes weakly as she turns it back to look at her fingers, covered in her own blood. Her breath hitches again and she lets out a quiet mewling sound. The dark figure stops its search and turns to look at her, hisses something at her. The figure walks back to the elf and stands over her, tilting its head as if it had completely forgotten she was there until she made the sound. He kneels next to her, stares at her unfocused eyes, and reaches out a hand to her stomach. Without a word and without breaking his gaze, he pushes two of his fingers into the gaping wound in her abdomen. Her mouth widens in a silent scream, a rictus of pain etched on her face. In a moment, her entire body goes limp as she succumbs to the pain and faints. The figure stands, staring at her one final time, then spits on her before turning to leave. Well, that was very rude for a burglar. She had a rough time there. She probably got all angry and went on a revenge streak, and thus became a deadly archer. She went on a mission to kill Bill. Her name used to just be Branch. But then
What does the flame reveal?
she got broken and now she's Broken Branch. What does the flame reveal? Peregrine. Hey, I know Peregrine. I helped Peregrine out over there in Madmer Bridge Zone, and now she's here with her shop, and by shop I mean cart. Because this is the marketplace, so this would be interesting. I just got XP for discovering the marketplace. Was it hidden? Like, do I need to draw a map so that others may find this place I have discovered? Alright, let's quick save because that's what I do. Alright, Peregrine. I don't remember what kind of voice I used for her. The Orland woman bounces up and down at your approach.
Remember me? We met by Madmer Bridge.
She slaps you playfully on the shoulder.
Thanks for helping me out back there. As promised, I'll give you the best prices in town. If it weren't for you, I'd still be broke.
Show me your wares. So I get it. Oh, wow. She has traps, and not only does she have traps, she has awesome traps. I'll take that, just in case. Camping supplies at a discount. Of course, I don't need any right now, but...
Adventuring supplies? You need them, I have them.
The Orland woman says with a smile.
Care to see my selection?
Show me your wares. Alright, so she has a lot of very cool traps. Fan of flames. This trap ignites a short-range burst of flame in a single direction. Highly dramatic, short-lived. And they're quite a bit cheaper, aren't they, than... I mean, these are good traps. Fireball trap. Dart, hail of dart, arrow, tanglefoot, poison dart. Noxious burst trap, bounding missiles trap, malignant cloud trap. This trap releases a cloud of virulent poison from several hidden valves, inflicting considerable damage to the lungs of any and all standing within its reach. 3 to 9 raw damage doesn't sound like that much. Maybe they just keep taking that while they're in the cloud. So if you could get them stuck in that somehow, it'd be good. Boiling spray trap. This trap sprays those unlucky enough to stumble upon it with a blast of superheated water, causing grievous burns and no small measure of alarm. And it pushes them too. Curse of the Adragon trap. Once triggered, this powerful trap inflicts a heavy curse which paralyzes all foes within its range, rendering them vulnerable to further attack. A trap that petrifies? Holy crap. That's amazing. Freezing pillar trap? Concussive missiles trap? Pillar of holy fire. These are some beastly traps. Sun Lance. Oh, that's an ass-kicking spell there. Of course, it does a lot more damage, the actual druid spell. A favorite among Aothasians, the Sun Lance trap calls down a powerful lance of pure and blinding light, which strikes with lethal force. Those intruders that are not impaled outright are often seared alive by the resulting heat. So these are pretty cool traps. Like if I ever need to really go to Trap Town on somebody, like if I wanted to fight, if I wanted to really go nuts and beat one of those like what do you call it? Those bounties, and it was too hard. I could just lay a ton of traps and then run and drag the enemies through a bunch of traps and probably mess them up pretty good that way. But I'm not going to buy any traps right now because I'm already carrying around a boatload of traps. A boatload. Okay, do I want to sell any stuff? Do I have any stuff that I could sell a few of these books, the more valuable ones, but I kind of don't want to be honest. So I think I shan't. Yeah, I just said shan't. I saw that. I feel like I shouldn't sell Palagina's armor. Like, I don't know why. It's not that great, but I'm selling it. I don't know why I have this fine mail armor either. Okay. That hunting bow can go. I guess I'll keep the rest of these things for now. So, yeah. Make a little bit of money there. Put that away. I wish necklace and cloak were not the same slot. It'd be nice to be able to have a necklace and a cloak, but that is just me, I suppose. Probably isn't just me, actually. It's probably lots of people, but alright. Bye, Peregrine. Bye.
Let's see what lies this way.
And this over here is Laura. What is she selling? Looks like either alchemy or booze. The young woman stands by a cart, watching the crowd with large, bright eyes that focus on you as you approach.
Take your time, traveler. If you're looking for enchanted scrolls or garb, you've come to the right place.
Sleeping Shaw, how you doing? Welcome back. Good to see you. I shall be quiet as the calm sea, which is not very quiet. Yeah, Khan always does that. It's pretty funny.
Show me your wares.
Oh. Wow, okay. Here we go. So this is a person who sells gems, which is good if you needed these for enchanting or whatever. Ashwood cameo figurine. It's another summoning item. Summons a Dilemgun, really? This intricate piece has been created from one small piece of ash wood. A raised relief has been carved across the front, depicting an eerie, beautiful figure standing beneath a large and twisting tree. Her face is turned slightly to regard the viewer, as if having just noticed their presence. Well, that could be useful. And then, various scrolls. Scroll of Revival, Paralysis, Valor. What does this do? This scroll grants the caster knowledge of a spell, which in turn improves the accuracy of every ally within range of the spell's influence. Even green recruits can be made to target with precision the weakness of one's enemies. This is a 5-meter radius, plus 15 accuracy for 15 seconds. That's a pretty nice scroll. And then those other scrolls. Oh yeah, so some nice potions here too. Power, minor regen, minor endurance, major regeneration, plus 60 over 15 seconds. That's not really... Like, why would you want 60 endurance over 15 seconds when you could just get 50 endurance immediately for 300 less copper? That's a questionable potion. That's pretty nice. Major endurance, now that's a good potion. Plus 100 immediately. Get the briskness going, yes! Seal of Faith. Ooh, hold the fuck on. This is a must-have. Only usable by priest to get a +1 first, second, and third level spell per day. Come on, son. Buying it. This thick iron band is dented and scratched and appears to have seen much use. It is studded with 11 small beads, one for each of the gods. It was created by an Adiran priest to remind him of his devotion, particularly in the heat of battle. It is said that, feeling his fingers rub against the beads, he would say a quick prayer to each of the gods who blessed him in return. And it's only 825 copper. We'll take... plus 10 deflection ring. What is this? What is this? And then this has got 4 fortitude, 4 reflex, 2 resolve. Really? It's a pretty good ring, too. We've read about rings of deflection. We've read about that. Telda's ring is... Oh, this is like the other one, but for wizards. Of course, I don't really use a wizard, so I'm not going to buy this, but it's quite nice nonetheless. An elven wizard of Adir, Telda was forever frustrated by the limits of her own considerable powers. After spending almost 2 centuries mastering most of the spells known to Kith, she found that her greatest challenge lay not with her repertoire, but with her inability to make more frequent use of her magic. She spent the last century of her life studying a means to amplify her abilities. When at last she developed the spell she needed, she had it built into this ring so that the prudent wizard need not cast the spell to make use of it. Okay, so yeah, we don't want that, but plus 10 deflection ring. I kind of have to have that. That's the thing. And then this is very expensive. Jeez. Plus 4 fortitude, plus 4 reflex, plus 2 resolve. I don't think... I'm going to take these 2 rings, though. Because... well, he needs this one to replace this one. And then she can have this one. Oh. Shit. I guess somebody else could have Gon's Pledge. But it is a self-heal, so it kind of makes more sense. Somebody else could wear the like Kana or my character could use the one that just gives you... Wait, Oh. I see. So you get 1 deflection and 2 will from each point of resolve, which makes that ring give you basically 4 will, 4 fortitude, 4 reflex, and 2 deflection, which I suppose makes it a little bit better than the 5/5/5 one, but not really. Not really worth buying. Yeah, he's not going to take these off, so in other words, he won't wear Gaun's Pledge, so if she wants to wear it, I mean, anybody could wear it, but it's really best on one of the tanks because it's a self-heal.
I'm ready.
Hey.
Que?
Alright, I'm going to give the bartender's ring to Durance. And I'm going to give her that deflection ring. And then... yeah, he's up to 91 now.
Hey.
Which is good. Oh yeah, and the priest now has... oh, I haven't put it on him yet. Okay.
Yes?
5/5/3. Cool. So he just got a bunch more spells. That's awesome. Always good to see a familiar face. How may I help you? So she has some good potions and scrolls and gems. I'll have to remember that
Let's
for
see
the
what lies
future.
this way.
Now that we have a Justicar, we've been to the Goose and Fox yet. Best inn in the city. Now we've heard about that before. Crucible Knights used to be blacksmiths. Here's Narmer. The merchant smiles brightly. Well met, traveller. You interested in purchasing any rations for your journeys? Show me your wares. His camping... oh, he's the food guy. Okay. So if I wanted to cook a certain type of food, he's the guy to come to buy the materials, which is pretty cool. I should probably make... whoa, look at how expensive dragon meat is. I mean, of course, it's dragon meat, so that makes sense, but dragon meat is considered a rare and exotic treat for the fairly obvious reason that it's not very easy to obtain. Many tales and rites of passage are formed up around the idea of consuming the raw flesh of these beasts. Just eating it gives you resolve and might, 3 of each, and then a dragon egg. While full-grown dragons can grow to titanic proportions, their eggs start out just larger than a human torso. Just larger than a human torso. Oh, okay, so it's not big or anything. You can just carry these around, a stack of them, in your backpack like it's no problem. They make for very filling meals if one is willing to brave the risk of raiding a nest. Wow, dragon eggs. Serious business. So he's the food guy. In the market for fresh fruit or vegetables? Show me your wares. So, let's take a look at the cooking thing real quick. I should cook up some Duke's Own beef loaf. 10 max endurance, 2 might. That's pretty good. And it lasts for 5 minutes. That's pretty good for various characters. Also, what was the other one I liked? Endurance and intellect is kind of good. Requires fish. Move speed. There's eggs and milk and oil. That'd be nice for Kana when he's pulling. Or make anybody a puller, I guess. Oh yeah, Pearlwood Chicken. It's the one I wanted for the tanks. Endurance and Con for 300 seconds. Endurance and Dex. Endurance and Might. Basically Pearlwood Chicken for my tank. Although I could really, everybody could benefit from Duke's Own beef loaf because Might's good for absolutely everybody, and max endurance is good for absolutely everybody. So I should just buy a bunch of meat and make a bunch of that stuff. But then again, there's only limited meat, so maybe I should make the chicken too. Need vegetables and fruits. What do you use fruit for in beef loaf and what? Now we read this whole. Does he sell all that stuff? He sells meat, he sells fish, he sells eggs, and fruit and vegetables. And this stuff is all dirt cheap, so like, might as well just buy it. You know, like I can just make whatever I want, and it's not like this costs anything. I mean, obviously I'm not going to buy the dragon meat and dragon eggs. How come that stuff didn't go into the stash? There we go. So I could make some of this stuff. Farmer's spread. Move speed and might. Pearlwood chicken. Endurance and intellect. It requires beer and rice.
Won't get far like this. Won't get far like this. Won't get far like this.
So I just made a bunch of food. He will eat Pearlwood chicken because he's a tank. Move speed and might will probably go on Kana. Intellect is best for... Oh, get in the stash, please. There we go. she's going to be the bearer of the food. And she can pass it out as we need it. Right. Okay. So... Laura, Narmer, Harrigan.
Let's see what lies this way.
You can't steal from any of these merchants, huh? I have a bad feeling there. Well, here's Igrin. Ooh, hello. Ale. Who's got the ale? He does. Igrin stands behind a stall, polishing a broadsword. The patterned flesh around his eyes is crinkled with age, and the muscles in his arms are knotty and lean, but he holds the weapon with ease. He nods at you.
Come to take a look. You won't find a finer collection of armor and weaponry in Defiance Bay. Outside swords, of course.
He flashes a crooked grin. What's so special about Sonild?
She operates in the expedition hall.
He jerks his thumb over his shoulder.
Sells the best equipment in the city, but winning keeps her on a short leash. Keeps a fine inventory reserved for chartered expositionists, members of the dozens, and anyone else he takes a liking to.
Let me see what you have for sale. Oh, whoa. Okay, guns and all kinds of good shit. Lockpicks, I will take those right now. I'll take that and that just in case I need them. I'm getting quite an assortment, quite a collection of pry bars, grappling hooks, chisels. I probably don't need to buy any more of those for a while. A bunch of different kinds of helms. There's a named helm. A bunch of kinds of armor. There's some named armor. A bunch of weapons. So many weapons. Arbalests. Blunderbuss. And some named weapons. Glorious. Alright, what do we have here? Let's see. We've got the Dunreed Demon. It's a hat with +2 intellect on it. Goswin was one of the Brishalgwyn of Gonfoth who received training from Deerwooden Animancers around 2785 AI. When Dunreed Row was founded 15 years later, she was one of the first ciphers to join. Though relatively old for an Orlan, she was one of its most enthusiastic and capable agents. Known as the Dunreed Demon, she was ruthlessly methodical and infamous throughout Defiance Bay for prowling the streets in her helmet, searching for clues and connections. At the end of the Saints' War, she was over 40, and she was sent to the Godhammer Citadel to search for traces of St. Widewin. She never arrived, and years later, her helmet was found on the road from Echo Bay. Dun dun dun! What happened to her? Well, that would be a glorious item to own, but it's very expensive. Pike's Pride. Let's see. This is scale armor. +10 will, half stun duration and knockdown duration. I mean, that's not bad, but it's kind of not the best armor, though. Born into a family of fishmongers, one young Adiran decided that he would give up the family trade and take up the sword instead. He swore that he would find greater fortune than ever was bestowed upon his family. When he sought out opportunities to prove himself, however, he was often scorned, for he came from low-born stock, and his line had achieved little of note. Discouraged, the lad returned home, only to find that his family, eager to see him achieve his wishes, had pooled what coin they had to commission a suit of armor that might keep him safe. The lad asked the smith to craft a set of gleaming scale armor bright as the flashing scales of a fish and just as light and quick. He called it Pike's Pride, and while he wore it he found himself immune to whatever foul words his detractors might level at him. That's nice. But the damage reduction is kind of low, and it still has a lot of speed penalty. 10 will is nice, and the half stun and knockdown is cool, but I don't really see myself, plus it's expensive, I don't really see myself wearing that. I do want to try out a blunderbuss pretty bad for my whatchamacallit, my Cipher, one of them, because it shoots 6 projectiles, and that should generate a ton of focus. Has terrible accuracy, short range, very slow, but it does bypass DR. Blunderbusses are matchlock firearms used for hunting or in combat against groups of enemies. They can inflict an impressive amount of damage, but fare poorly against armor. Despite this, like other firearms, blunderbusses are capable of penetrating a wizard's arcane veil. Yeah. And then you have a bunch of very expensive weapons here. Shatterstar. Annihilation. Plus 50% to crit damage multiplier. That would be hot. So Warhammer does crush, pierce. +1 enemies engaged. That's glorious. And it's fine. That's a nice weapon. That's a very nice weapon. All around Aora, tales circulate about fabulous weapons fashioned from stones that fall from the heavens. Once believed to be gifts from the gods, and still often seen as such, these stones are now known to be meteorites. Even so, items crafted from them remain precious. Shatterstar was a hammer forged from a solid block of palisite that was discovered by one of Aothis' faithful shortly after St. Widewin rose to power and raided Ceres. It was crafted into a weapon and carried at the head of the Raidceran army during Widewin's march on the Deerwood. As such, it was believed lost at the Godhammer Citadel. The head of the hammer is iron and nickel laced with yellow and orange crystals. It's held in place by a bronze band joined to softly jingling rings. Sounds like a pretty cool weapon. Extra enemies engaged is awesome. And crit damage multiplier, of course. You know who's good at Warhammers? Is Palagina. She's got Warhammers on it. So if I ever wanted her to use a one-hander and shield, something like this would be perfect. Lost Thane's Reach. Ooh. It's expensive. It's a pike with normal reach. Inflicts -5 accuracy for 5 seconds on hit. That's pretty gorgeous. She's also good at pikes. Lost Thane's Reach was once wielded by Thane Solmar Sineheod of the Grasp. While engaged in a skirmish against some Glanfathan rebels at the outskirts of New Haomar, Solmar cornered their leader at the edge of a cliff. The rebels quickly interposed themselves between Thane Solmar and their leader, seeking to prevent Solmar from striking the final blow. A skilled pikeman, Solmar was able to foul every attempt to strike him, and he ultimately dealt the rebel leader a mortal wound. Unfortunately, the pike's hooked blade became snagged upon the dying elf's armor, pulling Solmar over the edge of the cliff with his foe. And then he was the lost Thane as he fell off the thing. Well, I guess he shouldn't have reached. He shouldn't have overreached. The Lady's Hand. Ooh, it's a scepter. So wouldn't really use this on anybody but a wizard, and I don't really use a wizard, but still. +10 accuracy when below 50% endurance, extra damage when below 50% endurance. Reliable 20%. So that's pretty nice. Scepter. Wow, it's got a story too. A serious story. This slender steel scepter is topped with a gilded feminine hand, each finger ending in a delicate mother-of-pearl nail. It was forged and crafted by the smiths and artisans of Delwyn, a small town in the foothills of the Magmir Mountains in the southern reaches of the Adir Empire. The recipient was later Lady Riga Adelwan, 3rd Margrepha of Maganon, who had recently emerged victorious from a brutal campaign against her march by barbarians and agents of a rival family. In leading the defense of the march, Lady Riga had lost her left hand. The Emperor had this scepter created to reward her sacrifice during the protection of what was then the Empire's southernmost territory. Unfortunately for the Adelwan family, they only held the Maganon territories for 2 more generations. With little money and no land, the family set out for the young colonies of the Deerwood. The lady's hand saw renewed use in battle by Brannon Adelwan, Thane of the Low Meadows, during the War of Black Trees. There, Brannon used it to defeat Glenfathan warriors and spirit-animated trees that were marching out of the deep woods. For his service to the colonies, Brannon was made an Earl of the new territory of Blackstand, but bad luck struck the Adelwan family twice. Only a year after establishing a fort on the frontier, Brannon was ambushed by Glenfathan resistance fighters. Finishing their main mission, the assassins then pursued his small family and killed every member, leaving no heirs to the House of Adalwyn. Following the reinforcement of Blackstand's fort by its new Earl, the Adalwyn family's belongings were distributed according to the known wishes of Brannon. Notably, the lady's hand, his great-great-grandmother's gift from the Emperor, was bequeathed to Sir Harig Cardaff, a minor knight of New Haelmar, alongside whom Brannon had fought in the War of Black Trees. More comfortable with sword and shield than scepter and grimoire, Sir Harig displayed his friend's gift prominently in his home, but it never saw use in battle again. And then somehow it ended up in the hands of this person standing here selling crap off of a cart. He's like selling shit out of his trunk. Hey, want to buy some weapons? Really good quality, really good quality. Yeah. Borasane. Now this looks like a pretty sexy bow. Ridiculously expensive. Borasane. Warbow. It's fine. Attacks can stun on crits. 20% of damage restored as endurance. That's not bad. That's not a bad bow. The dwarven clan of Longmire dwelt in the wilds of Nossatok, hunting game and surviving off of the harsh land. Summers were brief and winters difficult, but the winter of 2562 AI was one of the hardest in the tribe's long history. A mighty snow leopard had established territory nearby, scaring off much of the game near the village. By Fanauten, the hunters were returning with little more than rabbits, and the winter freeze was nigh. Winter is coming. A dozen of the best hunters struck out across the tundra, determined to hunt the great cat. The beast was craftier than they'd planned, and by Invierno, half of the hunters and most of the hunting foxes had been slain without so much as wounding the leopard. That is a badass leopard. Desperate and furious, one of the hunters crafted a bow from the bones of her slain fox. That's awesome. As her remaining companions looked on, it seemed that all of her rage was channeled into the weapon while she carved and shaped it. Her work completed, she set off and tracked the beast to its lair. Once she'd killed it, she decorated her bow with its teeth as a reminder of the deed and of the long and tragic hunt. Now black with age and use, this bow is nevertheless fierce to behold. It's studded with the teeth of a large cat, and the notches curve in tight spirals. That's pretty cool bow. Like, that would be cool to give to Sagani. Oh, carved out of the bones of the... I don't really know that fox bones are the best thing to use to make a bow out of, but we'll overlook that. Alright, wow. Well, I don't think there's anything... I want the blunderbuss, I suppose. But I don't think there's anything else here he's got that I even really would buy. Oh, I would buy this intelligence helm, of course. But not right now, because it's too expensive. I don't have a lot of money left after buying those rings. I don't even know if I can really afford the blunderbuss right now. I think I'll wait. Hopefully I'll find one soon. Or make a bunch more money.
Let's see what lies this way.
These two people are going to be, whatever you call it. Vibrant histories, aren't they? So, I don't know what that is, but I know I want what's in this barrel. Grain, I'll take it. I love me some grain. Lockpicks, get in there. Prybar, get in there. How many of those things do I have? Seriously. I have 5 hammers and chisels, 7 ropes and grappling hooks, 5 pry bars. I probably don't need to buy any more of those at the moment, because I have quite a few. So I will talk to these two people. I will undoubtedly be reading their stories, because they will be vibrant histories, I suspect. And then I'm going to kind of go up this way and see what's up here. Maybe go into the... Actually, I'll go to this... I'll check out this building first. See what's over here. And then after that, go up and check this out. This is the expedition hall, so I'll bet I'll get some quests or whatever in there. But, that's going to all be next time, because this is the end of this episode. So, thanks for watching. Josiah plays Pillars of Eternity.